Oh, well, hey, I didn't see you there. You're just in time for part 2 of Did 700 Combat Dummies Get Me to Max Combat? I was just hanging out here, not in a weird way at all, in the Invention Guild, and styling in a purple Santa hat. And if this video gets 10 different commenters, shout out to the clever people who just left 10 comments, somebody's gonna get a purple Santa hat. They're not worth a ton right now, but they look cool, legitimately. I like them, and they're worth 65 mil. So if you don't like Stylescape, then you get 65 mil for free. But circling back around, did 700 Combat Dummies actually get me to my goal? No, the answer is no. And it might surprise you as to why not. It might not, but it surprised me a little bit. So what did we end up with after our double XP video? 97 attack, 93 magic, 89 range, 95 attack. I think I said attack instead of strength, 97 strength. And then our necro was already a high level. So we didn't make it. Now, how come? Did I run out of dummies? No, if you were clever and astute, you saw that I have 664 dummies still in my inventory. Let me tell you an extremely brief story as to go along here, and I'll show you what I ended up doing instead. Dummies are incredible XP. They're about over 2 million XP an hour for me when I was doing double XP. Not sure if I had any bonus XP. I probably did have some. I probably had some Cinder Cores being boosted as well, and I liked it. I prefer the XP to be fast, and here's what I found with dummies. During my day, there's not time to really sit and click actively, and dummies are actually very active XP. Dummies are much more active than even like a semi-AFK Hellweir. There's probably the AFK Raziel that is more AFK than actual doing dummies, which is crazy because you have to retarget. There's not a way to auto-deploy either, so you're really needing to click pretty often, and they're great XP. But for me, it wasn't a good fit during the day, and I found that when I was playing actively and I had time in the evening to play actively, it wasn't really a fun way to play, even though the gains were absolutely incredible. So here's what I did instead. I have always been a fan of the Personal Slayer dungeon. It doesn't get a lot of love, it doesn't get a lot of press these days, and it hasn't even since release. I think people put Capsarius in there for irons, and they basically farm them out. But I've always loved the idea of a Personal Slayer dungeon. I think it's pretty cool. And speaking of Personal Slayer dungeon, that's in Menaphos. We're running to the Sophonim dungeon right now. If you don't know what it is, at 99 Slayer you get a chance to capture the souls of creatures in these special jars called Ushtabi, and then you get to put them in your own dungeon. That means that no one can crash you. You're not going to have any troubles with that whatsoever. Now, I like it. I think it's fun. It's fast respawn time too, and at different points there's been some more kind of like abusable mechanics. Kogiri demons didn't spec. It's great for binding contracts, this kind of thing. It's perfect if you don't like competing with other people for spots and don't want to run into that, hey bro, why didn't you hop? I've been here forever. And it's like, actually, I've been here through 3 overload sips, so I don't know where you've been, but it wasn't in my life. And it'd be great if you weren't in my life anymore forever. That would actually be fantastic. But if you're kind of a boat like I am, Personal Slayer Dungeon is great. 99 Slayers requirement. And we go over here to Menaphos. This is not really a guide, but a lot of people are not familiar with where it is. There we go, transportation. And we're going to hit travel the Sunken Pyramid. I already have souls in here, so I've already bothered collecting them and gathering them. It takes a little bit. We're going to enter the dungeon. Let's just say you've gathered them, you've placed them. The wiki is pretty straightforward. Here's where I got my gains. So I initially had bound skeletons in here. Bound skeletons are amazing for melee XP. It was well over 1 million XP an hour. It's a full like AoE type of task. You can use prayer renewal necklace on it, so you can use like have a bone crusher in your inventory, have a split tooth, a demon horn necklace, even maybe, is it bird's eye? The level 1 dungeoneering reward necklace probably still gives you enough, so then you can run prayer the whole time. It was amazing. So my melee stats took a huge jump up. It was super easy. It's also possible you can do it with necro. You can have just a scythe bar. I might have a scythe bar kind of in here somewhere. This one's not exactly a scythe bar, but it's pretty great. So you're going to have an early bloat because bloat will spread and then it kills it. This is not a guide. I'm getting kind of off track here. Sorry. We're approaching 5 minutes on a short video. It was amazing for melee, and it was extremely AFK. The drop's pretty trash, but extremely AFK, and I like that. It's a great way to grind pet, in my opinion. And then I said, well, I need to do something with range, and range is next up. So I went ahead and got Karaming 4, which is way expensive for me. Threw it on the bow. I think I have like 0% accuracy probably, but let's try. Oh, 98%. Nice. And so this became the grind with range. And this is where I'm going to 99 my range. And the reason being is that Primal Stone Spirits are quite expensive right now. They've come down a bit on release with the new mining smithing rework, about 160k. And I looked at the wiki and I saw that Seekers give you Primal Stone Spirits. So I can sit in here in a personal Slayer dungeon and I can area loot every single drop from the Seekers that I want. You can also put a legendary pet on if you want. And then if you have, say, an overload, you are going to be able to maintain your HP no problem. And this is even without overloads. I'm in the wrong style. I have melee gloves because I was working on some armor, necro armor, melee armor, and a purple Santa hat. These guys are so easy to kill, and then they have quite a reasonable XP drop as well. My 2 cents on this is I did not manage to max out my combat on double XP, but I had a really good time playing the game, and it was nice to make some big progress. Those 1596, now take Constitution out, I don't know what that's going to be, maybe 300, 400, over 1,000 a guy here. And 100% sustainable. I'm not even casting thresholds. This is not a Revo bar, right? This is a manual because I was doing manual last night. TLDR. Personal Slayer Dungeon is really cool. The dummies are insane XP. So if you're somebody that doesn't really know what they want to kill and the next double XP ends up coming up and you got a bunch of dummies, you don't mind clicking them. Use the dummies. Go for it. Like, you're going to get tons of gains. They get some sort of weird pushback sometimes on Reddit, but I think that's just a minority, honestly. I think they're great. I just didn't want to click them. For the big room here, I'm going to put some Abyssal Beasts in. I'm going to capture all the souls, and then that's going to be my way to grind out maybe even some 120s on the combat. Something like that. But I can't beat the Seekers for actually giving me, some okay drops. I did the, 1,700 kills the first day I put them in here, which was actually only it was only a couple hours. It was crazy. And I was making like 9 mil an hour. I'm sure it's dropped now, but this is why I didn't make it. The dummies, I didn't make it. I didn't get to max combat stats, but I had a good time, and I've been able to do lots and lots of bossings. Bossing. Forgive me for the extra S. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've moved around the camera and stuff. I'm moving around on the stream. Oh, congrats to Das Boot for 500 million. Holy smokes. That is amazing. Wow, that's actually cracked. What are we at? Oh, we've crossed it. I wish I'd seen that. I crossed that recently. Oh man. I crossed it 57 mil ago. I actually didn't realize. That's wild. I'll have to see if it shows in my adventure log. But it's been a great time. I've really enjoyed streaming. Production value should be going up. But the stream is crashing like crazy because my PC's a potato. Some parts are in today, and hopefully by next week we're able to put out some better content. I want to make some more guides, but if I have more than 2 or 3 transitions in my video, my computer just dies. So it is what it is. Thanks for watching. It's now an 8-minute video. I hope you made it to the end. If you did, thank you so much. And if you liked the video, or you like the style, or you have some hopefully constructive feedback tips, put it in the comments. And if you liked it and you haven't watched anymore, hit the subscribe button. You'll see I put more out, and we're streaming a ton. Nakatra, Sanctum of Rebirth, grinding for magic weapons. I need to go back to Zammy because I'm poor again, and well, hopefully it's enjoyment for everybody. Thanks, and have a great day. Oh, and happy drops.